Love always Myles. 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 From me to you, and you are listening to Love Always Myles. Hey, my love bugs, and welcome back to Love Always Myles. How you guys feeling this week? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm at peace a little bit, not a terrible week. We made it through. Now it's time to start preparing for the next week. The ways of the world, the ways of the world. Speaking of the ways of the world, speaking of just having a good week, a lot of things came up for me this week, but something I think I should talk about. First, I want to ask you, have you ever noticed how some feelings really never leave you? Some thoughts keep returning, dreams keep resurfacing, some discomfort keeps revisiting your life, and over again, you look away. And no matter how much you distract yourself, delay it, or try to move around it, something in you keeps pulling you back toward it. I think sometimes our souls speak quietly, not through pressure, but through repetition, through restlessness, through longing, through the ache of knowing you were meant for more than the life you keep shrinking yourself into. And maybe this episode is for the people who are tired of pretending. They don't hear the inner voice anymore. People don't only run from pain, sometimes they run from alignment. A lot of people, they run from really looking at themselves. They run from really addressing the problems or the issues within themselves that could potentially align them with their overall goal and destiny. If it requires a lot of change, we run from something that forces us to be honest with ourselves. And the reason why I say this came up this week is because I was talking with my sister. If you don't know me, my sister, baby, we tight. We locked in. And we talk literally almost every day, or if not every day, every other day. But we were talking, and we're basically talking about alignment and talking about wanting to do better, chasing her dreams and her goals, or all of these things. And I remember saying to her, like, you keep having the same thoughts, same feelings, but yet you haven't taken the time to take life by your own two hands and do what you say you want to do. To me, a lot of people do that. A lot of people are scared. Even me, starting this podcast is scary to me. It's really scary to me. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I do get really anxious about it. It has taken a big step for me to step into something that I've always wanted to do. I had the thought of doing a podcast in high school. I had a thought to do it again when I was like, I don't know, maybe 21, 22. And now I'm 26. And I'm doing this. And it's just scary. It takes a lot of change. It takes a lot of change because for me, it's hard for me to really express myself and people to hear my point of view and hear my inner thoughts and hear my intimate conversations and my growth, even my downfalls. But it takes a lot. And a lot of people run from something that they know that they should do. Their soul is telling them they should do, their body is telling them they should do it, but yet they run from it. And a lot of times they are just scared of the change, scared to face the things that are honest from that. We run from things that would alter our identity. Sometimes comfort becomes a cage, and you have to learn how to break out of that. It has to be one of the hardest things to do. It has to be one of the most courageous things you could ever do. It is to step out of your comfort zone and take that risk, no matter what sometimes people say, no matter what sometimes your head even says. If your heart is telling you to make a change, you should. Don't be scared to align yourself with the best version of you just because you're scared of failure, just because you're quote unquote comfortable. Comfortability doesn't have to be your end goal, it doesn't have to be your destination. Familiar pain can feel safer than unfamiliar growth. It's predictable, it's somewhat reliable to stay where you are. And that isn't even just in life, it could be in anything. It could be in relationships, friendships, it could be at the job that you don't want to be at. It could be in the city, you know? Maybe you're from a small town and maybe the big city life is calling your name, babe. But the inner you is scared, scared of failing, scared to fall flat, maybe scared to disappoint everybody else around you. But is it worth disappointing yourself? Sometimes we stay in places that hurt us because at least they're predictable. And who wants to be predictable? Who wants to be stagnant? Your soul may be asking for expansion while you fear begs for familiarity. And again, that's something even myself I've struggled with. Staying in things for too long and being okay with the comfort that it gives me. A part of that for me has been relationships. I am a person that, when I get in a relationship with you, whether that's intimately or platonically, um, I'll stick around for the most part. I'll stick around for the most part, even if I know it's not good for me. Even if I know that I deserve better, it's not okay, and I should probably let this go. I'm a person that's, there till the wheels fall off type of girl, and that's not good. It's not good at all. It it like I said before, it really cages you. And there's been plenty of times where I've been in relationships, been in friendships, been in situations where I should have been gone, I should have been let it go, but I continue to fight. I continue to stay stagnant. I continue to go through the same cycles with the same people just because of the sake of safety, the sake of being predictable in this situation, the sake of what if this happens or what if that happens? Abandoning your dreams is another thing that I've done. I remember I stayed at a job for like literally 6 or 7 years that I hated because I was just comfortable with staying there. I was just comfortable with those four walls, even though I couldn't stand going there every day, even though I hated being there. I was scared to try something new. Um, and I didn't leave just because I wanted to leave. And honestly, it probably was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. I wouldn't move so a door was open to make me move. And I probably would never look back, or I would never look back. There are so many different reasons why people stay in situations, stay in relationships, jobs, stay in their life just because of the sake of it. Stop dimming yourself. Stop convincing yourself you're fine when you know you're not. Internally, you feel disconnected from yourself because you keep boxing yourself in, trying to convince yourself that everything else is okay. Even though your soul is literally telling you, this isn't right, this isn't you, this isn't what you need, this isn't what you deserve, this isn't what you want. Your body always knows. Your body, baby, listen to your body. I'm telling you, it will tell you everything you need to know if you listen to it. Not just about your health, but your surroundings, the chills that come on your body, the discomfort you have. Speaking of the job I used to have, right? I remember I was talking to my mom one day, and I was like, Mom, I don't know why, but every time I go to work, it was happening for like maybe 2 weeks. I was like, I could be fine, right? And every time I go to work, my stomach starts hurting. Like it starts churning. Like, like it's like knots in my stomach. I could be fine all day, but when I get to this job, it's like, I don't know what it is. And she looks at me and she literally said, oh, baby, it's the job. It's the job. You need to get up out of there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like literally, I'm like, oh, what you mean? What you mean? She was just like, either you need to get up out of there, or maybe you just need a break. Maybe you need to take a vacation. Maybe you need a minute to decompress and reload. But it's the job that's making your body feel that way. And that's what I did. I took a vacation, you know. I think I took a vacation for a week. But she was on to something when she said that. And she told me in that same sentence, your body will tell you everything you need to know if you actually listen to it. Listen to your intuition, listen to your body, follow your soul, not just your heart, but your soul. Sometimes the heart will play with you. Sometimes your mind will play with you. You really have to tap into following your soul and what you're really meant and destined to do, because that will tell you everything that you need to know. And in that job, I had so much exhaustion, anxiety. I was overthinking, constantly restless, feeling emotionally heavy. And that's a lot just to be going to a job. That's a lot. It's a lot to just be going with a job. But I felt that in friendships. I felt that in relationships. Girl, don't get me started on a relationship. Don't get me started, honey. Being up all night thinking about somebody that ain't thinking about you, that hit different. That hits different, babe. You know, thinking about loving somebody who couldn't care less to think about you, that hurts. Knowing in your soul that this person isn't for me, this relationship isn't for me, I need to move on, but also not even knowing how to. Also, not even knowing if you should, not even that you shouldn't, it's just you just in your head like, is this the right move? Is this the right step? And then again, that fear of what if I take this step, then what? What if I do say this thing, then what? That has to be the hardest thing to deal with. one of the hardest things to deal with. Being stuck, but also in the back of your mind, you're not even stuck because you know what you need to do. You're not broken. Something inside of you knows you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not where you're supposed to stay. And that could be again in any capacity of your life. Your body carries weight of the truths your mouth refused to say. Sometimes depression is grief over the life you know you were meant to live. And a lot of times we ignore ourselves. We put our feelings on the back burner just to survive, just to keep going through our day to day. Just like when I was saying at the job, like it was a job, it paid the bills, it got the money that I needed. So I put every red flag that I had, I put it to the side because I needed to survive. I needed to get through the day. I needed to get through the month. I needed to get through the year. And for some odd reason, at that moment, I'm just like, what if I leave? What if this? What if that? What if that? Girl, what if nothing? You need to move. Get out of your own way. Do what your soul is telling you to do. Self abandonment almost becomes normal when you keep replaying the same cycle over and over again. Don't let that be your normal. Don't let being stagnant or put in a box or a cage be your normal, because it doesn't have to be. It really is a choice. The hard and the tough decisions move you, but they move you into the right direction. They really upgrade your whole life into another step. Your intuition gets buried under the practicality of the day or the practicality of your life at that moment. But your life at that moment could all change if you make the change yourself. What keeps calling you may actually be meant for you. Not in a fantasy way, but in alignment. Maybe you keep thinking about creating because you're meant to create. You're meant to do more. Somebody's maybe meant to hear your voice or see your art or to read your book. And in this day and age, honestly, it's like a up and down. It's like social media is the new normal. Of course, we all know this, right? Social media is the day to day. It's what everybody is doing, no matter, I don't care who it is. Everybody is on a social, right? And it's just up and down because a lot of people they get on these social platforms and they do great and they put their content out. They put their books out. They do their podcasts. They do their poems and all type of beautiful things. And people like it and they go well with it and they strive and that's beautiful and amazing for them. And on the flip side, you have people who watch that and they aspire to do stuff like that. They aspire to be the content creator, the influencer. They am inspired to make clothing, to write poetry, to write that book. They aspire to be on camera. They aspire to be a model. They aspire to be these things. But they're so scared to get out of their own way to take a step to do it. And that's so sad. It's sad and I understand it. Because again, I was once upon a time that person that was scared to get out of my own way and do it because it's scary. It's one of the most scariest things to fully put yourself out there for so many different reasons. For me, putting myself out there for criticism. I had to be okay with, hey, I might not be everybody's cup of tea and it's okay. Everybody, no, somebody might not like what I have to say, and that's okay. They actually might not even like anything that I put out, and that's okay. It's scary, but it's okay. You know, maybe you're craving peace, you know, because chaos was never meant to be your home. Find what makes you peaceful. Find within yourself what you have to step away from, step into to have your peace. Maybe you keep outgrowing spaces because your spirit needs expansion. Not every reoccurring thought is random. Some desires are instructions. Some desires are just that instruction. When I have thoughts, when I have dreams, when I write it down because my mind is like a scatterbox. It's a scatterbox. I have so much stuff going on up there. I have 50 million ideas a day. But things that reoccur, I start to write them down. Whether it's in my notes, I could be at work. I could be like, oh my God, I need to put this in my phone. I need to put this in my phone. I need to write this down. Because you never know where this might come back to. Your soul will keep whispering until life finally listens. Clarity does not always come before the decision. Sometimes clarity arrives because you finally made one. After you make the decision, that's when you realize, oh, this is what this is. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be experiencing. This is what this even feels like. And when you make that decision, then you're like, okay, this is my next step. Then, okay, now I'm on a roll. This is my next step. And it flows and it feels effortless and it makes you happy and you feel these butterflies. You feel these amazing feelings and you go in this direction that you were already meant to do and be, but you just have to take the first step. I think I said this before. Stay focused, get out of your own way, ask yourself the tough questions, realign yourself with the right people that not only are going to support you, but also put a mirror to you to show you who you are for real. The beauty that's in you, or sometimes even the not so beautiful things in you. The deepest, most brutal is constantly leaving yourself behind. Abandoning your needs, silencing your intuition, choosing fear repeatedly, shrinking your comfort, waiting for permission to become yourself. You don't need anybody's permission. Actually, you can change it all right now. Sitting down, listening to this, sitting down, watching TV, at work, you can change it all, babe. Get out of your own way. That dream, that thought, that feeling, do it. Put your mind to it. No distractions. Set the tone for who you are. You can, like I said, I believe I said this last episode, baby, you can do a rebrand. And let that rebrand be personal. Let that rebrand be you. Let this rebrand be one of the most glorious decisions you ever made in your life. And you know what? On the other side of it, but you want to talk real, on the other side of it, even without inspiration and all of that, maybe it won't be. Hey, maybe you'll make the wrong decision. Maybe. That's also a chance. Even that one thing that keeps popping in your head, maybe it is the wrong decision, but at least you could say you did it. At least you could say you wasn't driven by fear. You weren't driven by the world. You were not standing in your own way. At least you stepped up to fail. Any move, any movement, you can never, ever feel like it isn't worth it because Even a failure is movement. Now you have the knowledge. Now you have the um now you know you have the courage. And now you know that hey, maybe that didn't work out, but maybe this will. And I love the word courage because I remember when I was younger, I was going into middle school, and a lot of the people around my age, of course, were going to middle school, and it was a scary time. But I remember this person at my church gave me this little card, and I actually still have it. I actually look at it every day. It's actually in my Lord, what's that thing called? My jewelry box. It's in my jewelry box. Yes, I could not think of that word. It's in my jewelry box, and this little card, and it says 5 seconds of courage. Because basically, they were just saying, 5 seconds of courage to, be the nice person, to speak to that new kid, or to, be kind. It just takes 5 seconds of courage just to step up and do it. And that's how I see life. It just takes 5 seconds of courage just to do it and make a change, but for yourself, not for anybody else, just for yourself. Maybe the reason you feel restless lately is because your soul is trying to lead you somewhere. Your fear keeps trying to leave. And I know change is scary. I know becoming unfamiliar to yourself can feel terrifying, but staying disconnected from yourself hurts too. You do not have to have every answer right now, tonight, this moment. You do not have to know exactly how everything will unfold, but maybe you can stop running long enough to finally hear yourself clearly. Because some things in life do not keep returning to you, to haunt you. Some things return because they belong to you. And maybe it's finally time to stop abandoning yourself. So you sit with that. You think about that. No pressure, but just take 5 seconds of courage to step up to the plate, to change who you could be 6 months from now, a year from now. Stay focused, be disciplined. It's hard, but it's worth it. I'll see you next Sunday, same place, same time. Let's continue this conversation of becoming. And no matter what, again, remember, any movement is good. Positive movement is good. Until next Sunday, love always, Myles.